name is Mark, and I use corrugated boxes to create interpretive art. It's something I've been doing since 2003. The artwork I create can be very complex, and a lot of it is abstract images, but as far as technicalness goes, my tools are as simple as a cutting mat, an oval razor knife, a measured rule, and a bottle of glue. And that's basically about it. I've started my first piece. I had a neighbor of mine that moved out of the area, and I told them to save all their boxes after the move. And they came up with a huge pile of them, and they were kind of questioning what I was going to do with it. And this is my first artwork that I created, and I titled it Max and Lori's Move. Ironically, a neighbor of mine not too far away, he works for a recycling magazine called Scrap, and he privied me to a client list that had thousands of recycling and waste people that were involved with that. So I contacted one of the clients, which was Bird, and they commissioned me for 11 works, and including this artwork here, which is my interpretation of like a floral theme. I call it Salutation to Corrugation. I got a little ballsy, and then I started calling some of the big paper companies, such International Paper, Packaging Corporation of America, and so on. Packaging Corporation of America really loved what I was doing, and they wound up commissioning me for 3 artworks, this being one of them, a rendition of three-dimensional hand. Getting back to that out of the box. I try to market my work to whomever I can gravitate it to. Sometimes even the shape of the artwork will take on a different form. I manufacture all my frames at home in my shop, studio. This being an example of something triangular. Contacting some of the bigger company names, I've done some work for some large names, this one being Mars. They have a global sustainability team, and they took a look at what I was doing and shipped to my home a huge box of M&M candy cases, and I created that art piece. I also like iconic work. This is a version of Roy Lichtenstein, his Clouds at Sea. I did this for a firm in Scranton, Pennsylvania called Diamond K Incorporated. They had an employee that wanted something that was theme-based, so I wound up coming up with that artwork and translating it my way. And in turn, they wanted something for the office on the transportation side of things, and I wound up doing a version of their logo, and then I developed, they wanted a semi-trailer, and I came up with this Mac. It has a lot more dimension than what you see here, but pretty technical. I went down to Lewistown, Ohio, and Mid-States Packaging commissioned me for this artwork. They make a product called Honeycomb, which is just like corrugated, but it's 3 artworks to encompass a linear space of 10 feet. So I developed it as a triptych so I could move it. This is a side-long shot, so you can kind of get the idea of the perspective of the art. A lot of detail, lots of paper, lots of weight. These go like 15 pounds. I could put in 100 hours into something like this. There's probably, a guesstimation, 2,000 individual pieces in this particular artwork. This was something really cool that I did for the Beechwood school system. They have a what they call the Green Dream, which is Ohio's first LEED certified classroom. So I met the students in the class, and they kind of ran me through the ringer, and I wound up creating this logo of their artwork. And in turn, it brought me to a couple in the same area, the Cohen family, who had a son that was going to be making his bar mitzvah. So they wanted artwork to commemorate the event, so I came up with this interpretive Star of David. This particular piece, obviously corrugated is made from paper, paper comes from wood, and it's titled Bas Relief, so it's a play on the words, Bas Relief sculpture, which is what it is. The plants indigenous to our state of Ohio, maple, oak, pin oak. I like iconic imagery. One of that, my favorite artist is Edvard Munch. This is his version of the screen. Not to rip off the actual art, but to basically try to capture the essence of it using something that is literally garbage. And it's kind of cool. It made the London Daily Times news. David Arquette, of all people, he called me at my house one evening, or one morning, excuse me, and said, "Mark," and I joked about this with my wife. It's, you know, that it was the Hollywood actor, and he says, "Yeah, it's me." And real cool guy. He commissioned that artwork in the background. Him, Ben Harper, and David Bedwell, they launched a clothing line called Proper. And I feel a lot of artists don't market themselves well. I spend a lot of time doing it, and actually just as much time as I do creating it. This is just something I did for WKYC, and I got my 10 minutes of fame like I'm doing here. And this is now hung in their gallery inside. On a recent trip to Florida with my father-in-law last summer, I visited the Ripley Museum, the Ripley office in Orlando. And I met their curator, Edward Meyer. And this is now an acquisition piece of theirs that's in San Francisco. A little strange place to have art, but I'll take it. And another Ripley acquisition, this is my rendition and spin-off of the Old Army recruitment poster, Uncle Sam, and I kind of changed up, of course, the script, but added the recycling chasing arrows into the background. It's actually a popular piece, and I want to make it a cover.